At that point when I was going to commit suicide, I was pregnant again. I was 8 months pregnant, and at that point I would have done it, but my wallet dropped out and the picture of my 3 first children was there in front of me, and that's the only thing that drew me back, that stopped me.
Hey guys, it's your girl Nia. We're back at it with the 10-question game. Today we have our lovely Esme. Did I say it right?
Esme, yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, great. Question number 1. What would your autobiography be called?
Wild Lioness.
Lioness? Ooh. 'cause
Something
you're
very
so
urban,
spicy.
of course.
Yeah. All right, question number 2. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I'll be a lion,
Oh, wow, why?
or the queen of a lion,
Oh.
because I do find myself as an empress and a lioness.
All right, question number 3. Name an embarrassing thing that you do that no one knows of.
I don't wear underwear.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. All day, every day, or
All day, every day.
you know what? Sometimes you gotta let it breathe, guys. All right, question number 4. What's your secret talent?
I do pole dancing.
Oh, wow. Your own lessons or?
I have a pole at home and I practice.
Oh, wow. So you could do the whole leg flip and that is so sick. I've always wanted to try pole dance, but my mama go, I don't know about that. Question number 5. What's your guilty pleasure?
I eat a lot of ice cream.
I love ice cream. It keeps you cool. It keeps you feeling vibrant. All right. Question number 6. When is the last time you kissed someone?
About a week ago.
Oh, wow. Was it on a date? Was it?
Oh no, I'm in a relationship.
Okay, question number 7. What is your favourite pickup line?
Can't tell you the last time I've used a pickup line. I think I'm too old
I
for
can't
that.
think of one either. Just, hey.
Innit?
All right. Question number 8. If you could be any age again, what age would it be and why?
I think I'll stick to the age that I'm at now.
So why? Why would you?
The age I'm at now, I'm happy, I'm content, and there's only much more to look forward to.
All right. Question number 9. Have you ever stolen from someone and why?
No, I wouldn't say I have, no.
All right. Last question. Can you say celebrations while biting your tongue?
So, Satan.
All right. Thank you so much, Esme. Say bye to the camera.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to the Just Tips Show. The guest we have on the show today, when I first heard her story, it took me about 1 to 3 minutes to be able to speak again. All I can say about her in 1 word or 2 words, strong woman. I'd like you to welcome to the Just Tips Show, Esme.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, let me take you back to your growing up years. What were they like?
I grew up in a household of 7 brothers, being an only girl, and it was hard. It was hard. I got sexually abused by a family member.
At what age?
From about the age of 7. Yeah, and it went on for a couple of years. I felt that, I know for a fact that one of my parents, I won't say now who, but they knew about it and didn't speak out to help me. So they kept it hidden. I've always wanted my dad's love and approval, never got it.
Go on.
From the age of 14, an amazing man came into my life and he sort of rescued me. I got married at a very young age.
At 14?
At the age of 14. It was an Islamic marriage, and I'm happy I did it because he took me away from that life.
Are you Muslim? Or
I
you
grew up Muslim,
Okay.
and I sort of drifted.
Can we have some tissues, please?
Thank you.
Do you want to have a hug? Give you a hug. Right, it's okay. Right, go on.
So an amazing man came into my life and took me away from all of that. I became his wife, which I was happy that I did because I couldn't stay in the situation that I was in. He led a life that I didn't realise, and it was very wild. And I was just his wife. And
Do you want to talk about?
that will be his story to tell, not mine.
Okay.
But I learned a lot from him. He taught me a lot, and I would say he is the love of my life. He gave me 3 beautiful children. That was my first 3. He went away and did some time and told me to get on with my life. I lived 7 years in Dubai, became a school teacher, and life out there was great. I mean, I loved it, you know, learning different stuff, meeting different people. I ended up getting into another arranged marriage from my uncle, and it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't a picture of what my uncle gave me until I came back to London. So yeah, I mean, I took my uncle's advice and married this guy and came back to England. And it was not what I expected. They say you never know someone until you actually live with them, eat with them, sleep with them, and actually in a house with them. This was the worst marriage of my life, okay? And it almost drove me to commit suicide. At that point, when I was going to commit suicide, I was pregnant again. I was 8 months pregnant. And at that point, I would have done it, but my wallet dropped out and the picture of my 3 first children was there in front of me. And that's the only thing that drew me back, that stopped me.
Well, would you want to share what the kind of things he was doing to?
First of all, I didn't even know he was married already, which is typical. Even though I was very open, he should have been very open with me. But the person he was married to wasn't what I expected. It was how can I say? She was very wild and loud, and I got threatened by her, and I stayed nice and calm. I kept it nice and cool, and I thought this woman can be as crazy as she wants, but I kept it nice and cool. And
Were you living in the same?
I was living in his house, but I didn't realise the woman was living right around the corner.
Oh.
So he was always there. I was pregnant with twins, and I lost one, and I still had to give. I lost one of my twins at 6 months, so I had to continue with my pregnancy. He just didn't show no interest. He was just happy he had a young girl. I was 26 and he was 56. So he was a much older guy. And I thought he was just happy that he just had a younger girl on site by him. What I didn't realise is that she had a plan. She had a plan to take my babies away.
She didn't have any kids?
She had kids, but she wanted more. She couldn't have more. And that was her plan. So it was difficult. It was difficult.
Did he know about it?
He knew all the time. He was
part of that plan.
Part of it. So yeah.
And your uncle, he didn't.
Whether my uncle knew or not, he should never have put me in that position, because in the beginning I felt uncomfortable, and in Islam it's like they say you should be grateful, and they say that you love what's bad for you but you hate what's good for you. And I was like, okay, I felt that I was being ungrateful. I felt that I was given this man to help me, to help my children. I'm going to bite my tongue and just go ahead with it. And that's what I did. I left that marriage while I was pregnant, just walked out, went to my mum. From then, that's when things just went a bit crazy with me, because I just thought, you know what, forget everybody, forget everything. And I went on a wild spree. I became a dancer, became a stripper, and plus one of my children, my 3rd daughter, she had an illness from the age of 7, and she had liver disease, autoimmune liver disease. She had a first transplant when she was 16 and a second transplant now that she's 18. So it was about 7-8 weeks ago. So I was juggling 3-4 jobs, looking after my kids, looking after my daughter's illness, trying to sort my son out of this gang. And it was hard.
I can imagine.
It was hard, and I was doing it on my own.
That's why I said you're a strong woman.
We became homeless when we came back from Clacton-on-Sea. We were on the streets because I remember I said to my mum if she can take one of my children, which was my child number 4. And there was a point where at that point I was just getting really stressed and everything was just on top of me. And I did say to her, would you be able to take my son and I'll give you whatever money you need. And she said to me, Esme, don't ever separate your children no matter how bad the situation is, because that's the biggest mistake she ever done. So I ended up keeping my child and just getting on with it.
Let me take you back to when you were 14 again. You were young, you vulnerable, you didn't know much. What was it like? I'm trying to get my head around a 14, 15-year-old young lady looking after a child. How
If it wasn't for my husband back then, I would have been lost. We were only 4 years apart, so you can say we were both kids, you know. But he was really mature. And at that time, I felt I was mature. I felt if I didn't get married and go with him, I would have either been dead or in prison. So
Did you tell him about what happened?
no, not at first, no, because his mentality is so different, and he took me for who I was. And it was like if I told him if anything had happened, he would have wiped them out. He would have just taken them all out.
Okay, we'll continue this conversation in just a moment. I'm being told we have to go for a break. This is a very touching story. It's still the Just Tips Show. We'll be right back after this.
Showed no emotions, nothing. When I told him I had lost one, no emotions, I need to get on with life. When I gave birth to my son, he was fine, nice, healthy baby. Then I gave birth to my daughter. She was less than my palm of my hand. And my mum took her and said, do you want to look at her? And I said, no.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Just Tips Show, and like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm talking to a very strong woman. I'm not sure I'll be able to take half as much as what she's been through. She's just telling us a story of how she had been assaulted from the age of 7, and how she's been able to cope so far. Again, I would say well done, because you deciding to take on 3 jobs, I'm a single mom with just the one, and I know how difficult it is, but you 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I have 5 children now.
Oh, 5 now.
Yeah, I've got 5 now.
Yeah, so well done. Yeah, well done. Okay, let's talk about the husband, your last husband. How did he react when he found out that he had lost one of the kids?
He's the only thing he said, when I told him I was pregnant, he made a comment like, oh, if it's not a boy, I'm leaving you. And I just thought,
in this day and age?
Yeah, I just thought that was very strange. Why would he say that? So I knew there was some sort of motive there when he said that. When I told him I was pregnant with twins, he said, well, didn't I tell you I was a twin? So he's a twin with a sister. Okay, but I'm having twins, you know. I thought a bit of excitement would be there. Nothing. He was very cold, showed no emotions, nothing. When I told him I had lost one, no emotions, I need to get on with life. And when I gave birth now, he was around the corner with the other woman, and it took my mum 5 minutes to get to the house. Everyone got there within 5 minutes. He didn't get there until after the kid was born.
Was it a home birth?
No, it was at the hospital. But considering he was 2 minutes around the corner, it took him that long, and I knew. And
the wife, what did she?
The only thing, when he finally came to the hospital, he was on the phone with her. Oh, the baby's okay, and he already said, I told you before that one's died. So when I gave birth to my son, He was fine, nice, healthy baby. Then I gave birth to my daughter. She was less than my palm of my hand. And my mum took her and said, "Do you want to look at her?" And I said, "No." So I just told her just to take her away.
But you got over that.
I had counselling, obviously, for a bit. And then, yeah, I became fine.
I have to ask about the children. How were they, like, okay, the first three you had, how did they cope?
My children are so supportive. From a very young age, they've always stuck together.
You said the oldest is 18 now.
My oldest now is 23.
Oh, okay.
At that time.
Okay, at that time.
Okay, my eldest now is 23. My next one is 20. My daughter now is 18. I have a son who's 13, and I have a 3-year-old. So my 18-year-old daughter, she was the one that had the 2 liver transplants. The first one, she had a damaged liver. The second one, she had cancer in the liver. So then they had to do it again. Yeah. And
I know this is hard. It's hard. Thank you. Thank you. I have to say this before I forget. Thank you for trusting me to tell your story. And
my mum is also not around. She died 5 years ago in my arms. So I nursed my mum 3 months before she died, and she died right in my arms.
Okay, let me ask you right now, with all this, how are you at the moment mentally?
There's times that I just want to fly away and just forget everything and everyone, but I'm not flying nowhere without my babies. I have to keep them close to me. And
You
we
all
are
live
all
in the
very
same
close.
house?
My big son is
Yeah.
married, and I have a beautiful granddaughter.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
he's been married for a year now, so I have a beautiful granddaughter.
Congratulations.
And my second son is on his way moving out, and his girlfriend is pregnant, so another granddaughter coming.
Yeah, but I guess it's all making up. Yes,
Yeah.
we understand that you will have your low points, and when you do have your good points, your high points, I'm sure it's all a loving
I mean,
family.
at the moment, I'm in the process of buying a house in Ghana.
Oh.
And I'm just now a manager of a shop. And yeah, I'm just doing my...
Are you
bits and
originally from
pieces.
Ghana?
No, my children's father, he's Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the place that they want to go. And I said, wherever you guys want to go, I'll make sure you guys are settled. So, yeah.
That's nice. Where are you from?
I was born here. My mum was Jamaican. My dad is from Guyana. So I class myself as Guyanese.
We have one in the house.
Yeah, I class myself as
Apart
Guyanese.
from you, we have one in the house. Hi! That's him. You're from the same place. Oh, I guess you must have been talking.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, so you've got a brother in the house. Yeah. Well done. Well done. What do you want to? This job as a manager, is that what you want to stick with for as long?
Not really, because that's just something here. I see high goals for myself. I see myself abroad with my own business, my own house, and my kids all around me, and loads of grandkids. This country is not a place that I'm looking to stay. So whatever I've got here is just it's just something to keep me going until I'm ready to make that move.
But have you any idea where you would want to?
I'm going home, Ghana, baby. I'm going Ghana.
And what kind of business would you want to?
I would do a food and hair shop, and my son, he's a school teacher, and he would want to sell books and stuff on the side.
Oh, so, wow, that's amazing.
So I just thought that I can't leave my kids money, I can't leave them properties, I can't leave them anything apart from them knowing my true story.
Yes, it's a legacy, and who knows, your name will go all over the world, and they will get to know that you're such a strong woman. Evelyn would moan at anything, stupid things. And then when on the show, that's one of the things I'm really grateful for this show, is that when I hear people's stories, I'm like, are you for real, Evelyn? So all I can say is, well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Before we go, I'd like you to look into this camera and speak to the viewers and tell them anything you'd like to tell them.
I just want to say, no matter how bad things get, No matter what your lowest, no matter if you're that low, find a way back up. Whether it's you having kids, or whether you've got an ambition, or whether you've got something, just keep going. Don't stop, and don't quit. Don't quit, because I didn't. And people say, oh, I can't do it because I have this and I have that. I've got 5 children, they're still my babies, and I'm still going, and I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep on going.
That's the way to go, girl. I need to give you another hug, sweetheart. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh dear, I wish I don't want to let you go now.
You're wonderful, amazing. Well, you've heard it from her. That was a struggle for me, I have to say. We all go through things in life. Until you hear other people's stories, you don't know how lucky you are. So wake up every morning grateful to see a new day. And we're going to do this again sometime soon. Till then, of course, I remain Evelyn Obaho. Goodbye and God bless. This guy was very high on this drugs, and he just comes down and just like that.
Yeah, he hit me with one hand, he hit me with another on both my legs, and I didn't know that anything had gone wrong. I was on the phone, so I'm like still shouting at him, what are you doing, what are you hitting me for? Then as I'm on the phone and he's gone downstairs, I'm thinking, why is one of my legs feeling really weird? Like, I don't feel normal, this. Do you know when you get pins and needles?
Yeah.
It was worse than that. It was hurting that bad. I had to look, I'm looking and I'm thinking I've been stabbed. I'm looking down and I had some black jeans on, a bit similar to these, and I'm thinking I've been stabbed here.